What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Hometown Advantage, where two hometown guys shine light on small town sports. This is Dominic Massimiano, teacher and head football coach at Rising Sun High School. And joining me as always is my co-host Shane Muller.
What's going on?
Former Rising Sun Wesley College baseball player. This episode is brought to you by our newest sponsor, Susquehanna Mailbox Company. Shane, did you know that it's Mailbox Improvement Week?
I did not.
Yeah, me either. Ethan, did you know that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look at that.
Knowledgeable guy.
Anyway, proudly serving the local community, Susquehanna Mailbox specializes in top quality mailbox installations. Whether you want to upgrade or enhance your curb appeal or just need something more secure, they've got you covered. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, or at susquehannamailbox.com, your hometown mailbox experts. And I did look at the page. You ended up looking at the page too.
They did do some really nice stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Javin. Played basketball, pick up basketball with him on the weekends, and a long time ago. But look, the work looks really good. So give him a shout out, give him a follow on Instagram or Facebook. Check him out. And as always, we think it's awesome you decided to join us for another weekly episode here. And, be sure to leave us a rating. Share us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube.
Yep.
We're getting some subscribers on there. Follow us on Spotify.
Do all the things.
Do all the things social media-wise. And, just share us with your sports-loving friends because we're gaining traction all because of you guys, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So, let's get this thing started. We are outside of the county last episode, but we're outside of town. We're outside of town again.
Outskirts.
And we're going back to Elkton again. I love it. It's okay, right? We want to be outside of the town because we're not a Rising Sun show. We're a local sports show. And today we're joined by Ethan Kline. Ethan is the head coach for the Elkton varsity baseball team. Even though he did not play baseball at the collegiate level, he has surrounded himself with baseball since he was a kid. Ethan has taken charge of the baseball program and helped climb it to the next level while also teaching his players in the classroom. Ethan, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, boys. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
I can't believe you didn't know it was Mailbox Appreciation Week, man. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
It just slipped my mind. I did know. It just slipped.
Yeah, I tell you what, looking at my mailbox, I'm about to hit him up because besides
Should work that in the deal,
man.
besides Javin, we can rework our deal. Besides Anna putting some flowers in our mailbox, that thing has been hit multiple times. And we walked out to it one day, just half fit on the ground. We're like, okay, cool. All right.
Throw some screws in her. Should be all right.
Hey, listen, we're excited to have another outside of the town episode here, and we're back to back Elkton. But you guys are doing great things over there, so we're excited to have you on.
Yeah, I feel like the programs over there have changed drastically since we were in high school.
Football's always been a dog. I don't know anything about the baseball. This is going to be a great episode for me. I'm not a baseball guy.
They had some good players.
Shane's
Shout
a
out
baseball
to
guy.
Matt and Tyler, but outside of that,
All right. So we Shane, you want to take the lead on some of these questions here? You're the baseball guy, so if you want to shoot the first question at him.
Yeah, we can do it. Usually we always start by just learning a little bit about our guest's career, sports career. So why don't you just start by kind of walking us through, where it all began and then kind of working how you became the head coach at Elkton.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, guys, I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah. Happy to have you.
I think what you guys are doing is cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you guys are getting the recognition and the traction that you guys are getting.
Appreciate
because
it.
It's really cool to kind of share stories from all across the county and understand what other people are saying across the county, because sometimes you get in that Rising Sun mindset or Elkton mindset or whatever. Right. And, man, really, learning from other people in the county, learning from other players in the county when you were playing.
Yep.
That's, I don't know, I feel like that was one of the biggest eye-opening experiences for me playing baseball, especially playing Legion with you, man.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know, man. I didn't really play college. I went to WVU. That was kind of ingrained in me. My great grandfather went to WVU.
Sure.
His grandfather,
family thing.
My father's father.
West Virginia has a hard tradition.
Yeah.
We have the same thing. Like Coach Vaughn, his son went there as well. He went or his wife went there, and they're big WVU fans. So.
Yeah, man. So I knew I wasn't a D1 athlete, but wouldn't trade my time at WVU for the world, man. Learned a lot there, met a lot of cool people there. But But yeah, I mean, my baseball career, I mean, I played like Little League growing up. Obviously, that's like when you're just having fun.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like people kind of like have moved away from Little League, moving like into more travel ball leagues and stuff like that, which pros and cons with that.
Sure.
But man, Little League was. I feel like we kind of had like a heightened level of Little League. I mean, maybe you can kind of say that because of like we'd play in it, but
Right.
I don't know. I feel like Little Leagues have dropped off a little bit. So.
Shout out
Little
Elkton,
leagues were fun when we played because there was no travel ball.
Yeah,
Right. You
yeah,
know,
so,
so
like,
when you played like All Stars, like you were playing the best of the best from every town. You know, so
Yeah.
like it was kind of like the travel ball experience, but local.
Yeah, and you had to work to get to that all-star thing.
Right.
Too. It wasn't just like you're placed on this team where you pay money and then you're playing with other good guys and you
Right.
play every day or whatever. But
Yeah, you were chasing all-stars, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Elkton baseball. It's where my baseball career ended.
Oh, yeah.
Fourth grade.
In Little League.
Yeah, decided that it's...
fourth grade, called it quits.
Yeah,
You should see it swing. It's
it wasn't for me. In football, I picked
swing
up
it.
football. I did miss the cup of soda you got from the concession stand and the little snack you got after your game. But you know, yeah, I went a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep people in the games at a young age. It's either you like it or you don't. But
right.
yeah, I mean, obviously that growing up in Elk Neck, I was kind of split between like playing with Elkton boys and then going to high school in Northeast. So like knew all the Northeast boys, but played
Right.
with a lot of Elkton kids. I mean, then after that, I mean, other than the Legion ball playing with you, man, I just went to college and got my master's degree out of West Virginia University somehow. You know, made it out alive 5 years.
Survived the party.
It is possible. It is
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, man. But yeah, that experience was cool.
Did
One-
you? Sorry, I don't mean to
No, go
interrupt. But did you think you might wanted to play at the college level? Did that ever cross your mind? Even I knew obviously like, you know, I went and played D3. Like, did D3 or D2 ever cross your mind?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a thing. I feel like I really haven't kind of like asked myself those questions enough. Like, I wouldn't say I was a great player, you know, but I knew a lot about the game. I knew how to be a good teammate.
Right.
And I would be able to carve a role out for myself pretty easily without like necessarily being told what the role was.
Right.
I feel like I could have competed at
Yeah,
the D2, D3 level.
I definitely think you could.
But
you know,
I mean,
you know,
it's-
you were really good at taking charge on the field.
yeah,
So-
but the thing is like guys do that, you know. Like
Right.
I have 4 seniors this year. 2 of them are going to go play at college. One's going to walk on, and then the last one, man, he's going to University of Maryland, and it's just, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to play baseball. I'm like, who cares, dude? You're going to a
Right.
great school. Like, how many people get into Maryland, dude?
Right.
I mean, I went to West Virginia. Everybody gets into West Virginia. But,
Everybody
you know.
got in the West.
But speaking on that, like West Virginia experience, man, it really did open up my eyes to a whole kind of like different style and just routine and process of baseball talk. Like, because just growing up here, you know, like what the coaches are saying here, you listen to like fellow local coaches, and then you go to somewhere completely different. They're saying similar things, but they also say a lot of different things. So,
Yeah.
while I was student teaching in my graduate year at WVU, like this super rural town called Grafton, West Virginia, about like an hour south of Morgantown, so I would commute down there. But they gave me an opportunity to start coaching my like while I was still in college. So I was like a volunteer assistant, and then I eventually got hired by that school. Still lived in Morgantown, taught out there for 3 years, and coached out there for 3 years.
Nice.
So kind of rolling back to Elkton. I mean, going to Northeast, I wasn't expecting myself to be back at Elkton, but I got a call from John Roush one day, and he's asked if I wanted to come down. He showed me the building, and he's like, "Here you go." I was like, "Okay."
All right.
I mean, I was making like $34,000 my third year teaching in West Virginia with a master's degree, so I was like,
No shot. Seriously?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I was
That-
like,
what's this, like 5 years ago?
I was 2018,
Okay, 6 years ago, $34,000 for the
man.
Masters.
making stacks.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
so,
brother,
I
I
mean-
need to move out to West Virginia.
Yeah, I was just like, I gotta make a change. So
Yeah, okay.
came back home, and then coached Legion as well,
Nice.
which was a cool experience. Kind of talk. We had some pretty good players on those 2 teams, and then had the COVID year between that, and then whenever Matt Armour decided to move into his softball route, just kind of stepped up in Elkton, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Haven't looked back.
It was the same. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, who'd you coach Legion with? Who
James
was-
McDowell.
Oh, was he coaching too?
Old Jimmy Legs, yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Like you said, like coming back, you didn't expect to be at Elkton. Like that's the exact way I ended up at Rising Sun. So my story is different. But like I came back thinking though, like I'll just go where I can find a job. You know what I mean? Because at the time, there was no openings in PE. Right? I was looking for a job, and I was like, first of all, I'm just trying to find a coaching gig.
Yep.
I long-term sub until then, and then everything worked out. Probably could have worked out better for me when Vaughn came back. When Vaughn was my coach, and it was like came on with him, long-term sub there, and all that. All the rest is history. But yeah, you never know what you're gonna end up, and but you've made every second of your time at Elkton count. That's
Right.
that's what you're gonna do if you're gonna go there. Even though you're Northeast in your blood, you're taking over a team, right?
Yeah,
You're trying to do everything you can to be successful and have those kids be successful. So yeah,
Yeah.
man.
The Cecil County it just sucks everybody right back in, dude. Like we've talked about this. I forget which on episode, but
It was last week.
was it last
Yeah.
week? How we were just like
talking about
everybody
people
wants to
wanting to leave.
Yeah, people always want to leave here, but then
I love it here.
Yeah,
you get stuck here.
small town mindset where it's like, I want to go somewhere else, but sure, grass can be greener in your mind if you want. You're going to get there, and you're going to have, if you still have the same poor attitude that you had while you're here, like, what's going to change?
There
Right.
you go.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? But, I mean, people realize that themselves
Yeah.
through their own
That's why I tell those kids, I can't wait to get out of here. And I don't hear that as much anymore, but like a lot of my students, I can't wait to get out of here. And I'm like, it's pretty nice here, man. Like it's
Right.
quiet. It's like, I mean, like obviously Elkton is more of a city area than where we're at,
But
but
not
like
really.
just but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared
City.
to right.
But relatively, like,
Right.
just speaking how rural our area
Sure,
is.
yeah.
It's
It's just like everything is.
Elkton's the big city.
Elkton is massive compared to
Got
Rising
two
Sun.
Taco Bells.
Right, yeah, 2 Taco Bells. You're right. Like right now.
Hey, what are they doing with that old one, man? What are they doing?
Is it staying there?
Oh, who knows?
Because there's about to be a
know.
Taco Bell within 2 miles of each other.
The new one looks good, though. I'll tell
I
you
do
that.
love Taco Bell.
Just in case you
We should
can't
get
make it,
Taco Bell as a
just in case you can't make it to that one, you got to go to this one. Oh my goodness! But yes, I mean, obviously, like the sports we've talked about, all the sports, and every coach we've had on is nothing but trying to advance that team, and as well as just I don't know, it's just I enjoy my time here
Right.
like greatly. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Live
mean,
in a
it's just when you
quiet
get
area.
when you get a little bit older and you get a little bit more
Sure,
of a mature
yeah,
mindset.
sure.
Things change a little bit. But I did not know that you coached out at West Virginia until I was doing a little research on some stats and stuff, and that popped up, and I was like, man, I did not realize that you coached out there. Was that high school? That was high school.
High school ball, yeah.
And were you just an assistant coach, or were you the head coach?
Bro, don't get me started on them over there, man. Like, I won't.
They might not. They might not be listening. So we haven't tapped into the West Virginia market yet.
Grafton High School. You listen. Nah, man. I love people there, but yeah, I don't think Rich Board's probably listening right now. But he was the AD, man. I was the only teacher in the building for those 4 years essentially that I was coaching there, and every time they would just give it to someone else, like in the community that come in.
Really?
And I'm like, man,
Probably somebody he
I'm here,
knew.
dude, teaching AP classes, man. I'm doing all this stuff at school. Like, I'm some young guy that's trying to work hard. Like,
Right.
I'm literally bringing over, like, practice plans from my buddy at West Virginia. And I'm like, hey, you guys want to check, like, you guys want to check these out? Oh, no, that's good? Okay. All right. Cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah, they never gave me a shot. But the opportunity that I did have there to learn what it is to be like an actual assistant coach that adds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because you
right.
have some like assistant coaches that are just statues.
Sure.
It's just
Yeah.
like so. I've kind of carved out a role for myself, handling bench guys, handling pitchers, handling catchers.
Yeah, I mean,
And then
hey, you build all that repertoire, and then it turns into your head coach career. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any other job. You got to get that experience first, and you probably got pretty tight with a lot of players. I would imagine. You know, you probably got to see a lot of really good players and some players that probably weren't good, but then improved and got good. You
I
know,
had such a negative mindset going. I'm like, these kids are gonna be trash, dude. Like, cause like I don't know, like I'm kind of like,
Sure.
I'm not better than these Susan County boys. You know? And then, dude, I get there, man. These kids like hold like what really changed my mindset on them. Like, we'd have a Saturday practice because like baseball practice on Saturdays, man. People get upset about it. You gotta get your reps in.
Right.
and it's like turkey season out there for them on Saturday. So like these boys are like going out and turkey hunting 4 o'clock in the morning, showing up for like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock batting practice.
That sounds
familiar. In their camos, dude. Like showing, and I'm like, I didn't have a Rising Sun experience. I'm sure a couple of you boys were doing that.
Well, this is what he's doing at Wesley. Going out and take pictures of turkeys at 4 in the morning.
But yeah, honestly, man, if I see the other team somehow doing that, I'm like, all right, boys, you gotta step up. Those guys get ready to break.
Oh, shit.
Taking cuts in their camo t-shirts.
Yeah, man.
I mean, yeah, if you're going turkey hunting at 4 a.m. showing up to practice, that's a different mindset there.
Dude, one of the best football players at Wesley went hunting with me every day.
Yeah, you're right. Off season.
Yeah, while deer season's starting to fall.
Yeah, you're right. He lived
waterfowl season.
He lived a different life. He did. Out there in Hartley, about 300 people out there.
He was on that small town.
There might have been about 400 people where he
more
was
deer
from.
than our people.
So what do you teach over at Elkton?
I teach history. I teach AP US history, and I teach government.
Okay, cool.
Government.
Good
Lord.
Dude, it's freshman government, man. So
I remember that class.
The worst for me.
every other state gives government to like a senior who's about to graduate and be a civic person who's going to vote, but Maryland gives it to 14-year-old kids
Hey,
who don't have
man.
to pass a middle school classes. They come into high school, they're like, oh man. Then we can throw a state test at them, and they're just like,
Good luck. Shout out CCPS.
now that I got those 2 AP jobs, man, it's changed the game.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I got into coaching because I'm a teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I kind of used to like have that. Get a little sidetracked here.
Oh, you're good. You like to get sidetracked.
I kind of had like a negative outlook on like while I was going through my like studies in West Virginia and writing papers and doing my own research and presenting my research. I was like kind of looking down on like the classic like PE teacher that coaches, or like somebody that's just like that history teacher that like is just there to coach. And now I'm like, yeah, this is kind of my why. Like, also,
Yeah.
hot off the press news. You're also talking to the Elkton High School golf coach now. So
Hey!
just heard about that.
Is this
Congratulations.
breaking news right now?
Hey,
Let's go.
let's
On the
break it.
pod?
Run the little thing on the bottom.
This is twice
I'll have
we've
to
got.
figure out how to edit that into the
Yeah,
YouTube.
put it on the ticker. This is twice we got Aaron talking about his summer programs. And
Right.
we got Ethan
Yeah.
talking about the Elkton golf coach.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be a blast.
All right, let's
Yeah, that's
restart
probably-
this
it's
and
gonna
talk.
be a lot
We gotta
of fun.
add that to his intro.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Wait, is that a fall sport?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was fall or spring. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait a
spring
minute.
will be a little bit dicey with that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, man. That's
How
big
many
news.
people are on the golf team?
About to be a lot more.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Actually, a lot of my baseball players, they don't play multiple sports, and I'm like,
Come try it out.
I mean,
That's
like
tough,
they
though,
play all
man.
year round, and it's awesome. It's like you guys are ballers. You guys like want to go to the next level. Like you're putting the work in, but
Take a break. Take a
dude,
break.
or just have some like, dude, it'll be such a mental vacation for some of those guys to kind of learn how to like go out and compete in a different way, still
Right.
swinging,
Yeah.
like still hitting a ball, like.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's going to be a completely different swing, but dude, there's going to be so many things that you can kind of chalk up to your own little toolbox just by
Right.
playing golf.
Yeah.
The mental aspect of it alone. You know, baseball is a mental sport in itself, but being able to go out there and can control your
That's
composure and
another
everything else.
individual sport where you're still within a team too,
Yeah,
like where
right.
you're doing your individual
100%.
things. Yeah, and shout out to my players that I talk to every day. Take a break.
Take a break.
Do something different. It'll help you.
I played baseball all year round for as long as I can remember. But
Everybody,
I
a lot of
also,
people do.
but I also played soccer.
Yeah.
So when fall rolled around, it was soccer season. Even though I was still playing baseball,
And it didn't mess
Soccer
up.
was a
It didn't
lot of
mess up
fun.
your
Yeah.
baseball season.
no, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Right, but I mean, you know, some people just, yeah, like you said, you got that mindset. They're just ballers. That's what they do. That's all they do. But you're a teenager. Take a break.
Be a baller
Do
in something else
something
too, though.
different. Yeah.
Like,
Right, absolutely.
Christian McCaffrey played 3 sports.
yeah.
That dude's a baller.
Truth.
So now you're back in Elkton. Like you're getting to coach the guys that, like, you know, you went through Cecil and you talked about you going through the Cecil High School baseball. Excuse me. And you know, what's it like coaching the guys that are, you know, you were in their shoes at one point, and you know, second part question, like, where do you draw your influence for your coaching now? Like, where are you getting that from your experience?
Yeah, so like who are like some of my like
Yeah, what's your
role
biggest
models?
influences?
Yeah.
I worded that question terribly. Sorry.
No. I mean, I gotta shout my dad out.
Right,
You know?
sure.
Also, love you, Dad. He's retiring this year, 36 and a half years at Bow Manor. So,
man, I haven't seen your dad in a long time.
I haven't. I don't give him enough credit. Because I remember kind of like looking at him as being like he was my coach growing up, like in Little League and stuff like that. And then, but like he gave me the framework to play the game, you know. And like a lot of Little League coaches don't get that credit, where it's just like, hey, like your swing sucks, let's figure this out. Like he's like teaching squash the bug, like all that like super old school stuff. And I would look down on that, like, come on, man. Like especially when I was in high school, it's like, dude, I know more than you, kind of. But like at the same time, I did in so many different ways. So shout out to him, 100%. Love your dad.
They and I talked about it a little bit with Rossi, but like my dad's the same way. Like they just unlock that that skill that you didn't know you had. Like you know, you're saying like some Little League coaches like don't give you the time of day because they're just trying to control the team, right? They're just playing control chaos. But somebody like your dad or my dad, like they're out there, like you're saying, like squash the bug, get your hands through, you know, all that stuff. So I get where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. So I mean, want to shout my dad out, but some people that really helped me, obviously Kevin Brown. He's still the goat, man.
That was my kindergarten PE teacher.
Let's go.
At Children's Hour. Used to be a private PE kindergarten on Main Street of Elkton.
I know that.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. So I had him as a teacher in PE Northeast, and he coached me in like some like summer league teams we would play in, some like I don't know, like I guess you could call it like men's league teams, because I was playing against like I feel like 20-year-old, 30-year-old guys like when I was like 15 with this team. But he would help me out with that, and then obviously throughout my high school career. But the main thing I got from him was just he was like very like deliberate and precise with his expectations, kind of. And a coach might not communicate those as effectively as they think they are. Like, like you know what the expectation is in your head, but do your boys.
Right.
He was pretty clear with that, concise practice plans. Like we knew what we were doing, so we can kind of get after the work that we needed to get done. But my biggest influence is one of my best friends, man. I met him in West Virginia. I was actually his RA. I was his resident assistant. But he walked onto the WVU baseball team. Eventually became like a player manager later. I think he ended up coaching with them.
Nice.
But he went on. Started coaching at a D2 school, in West Virginia called Salem University. He became the head coach there, got them to like a division championship, and now he's a player development coach for the Texas Rangers down in Arizona.
Nice, dude.
So
that's awesome.
Like
that's
literally, pretty much. I mean, like everything I get, like everything that I try to implement, whether it's like anything, like it could be a mental approach, it could be like your mental approach to the box, it could be like just basic like everyday drills that you're supposed to do, like what's your catch play look like, what's your pitcher rotations, like it's all him. So shout out to him for sure.
Sweet.
Some of those guys are just built different, man, when they have that baseball knowledge, like all the small stuff that you wouldn't even think of.
I just talked to him the other day, and I was like, how's everything going? And because he's all the way down in Arizona, his wife's in Morgantown still, so it's a long season for him, kind of away from his wife and his two dogs, which are awesome. But yeah, he was kind of saying, like, he's like, man, I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room here right now. and he was just like coming to grips with the fact that he was like, I should go back to like my school and like do what I was doing there, because I feel like I'm having to do everything here, and he's just this player development guy. But I mean,
so when you say player development guy, is he working with the minor league teams?
Yeah, so he's in like rookie ball right now, I guess. Okay. And I guess they divide up into different teams, but I didn't get that much information from him. But essentially, he's like running a squad who's supposed to get promoted, whatever. Like those guys are doing rehab. He said Johnny Cueto was just down there doing some rehab.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, old Cueto.
Sorry.
But yeah, come on, man, children's show, dude.
Hey, my bad. We put an E on the podcast, so they know.
Yeah.
There's like one every time. Not that big a deal.
But one more thing that's something cool that I've been implementing. I think, ever since I took over, I got really into Ole Miss's like YouTube.
Okay.
And Coach Mike Bianco, I've listened to a couple of interviews with him, and like seeing him talk and how he runs practices. And they do something called the Omaha Challenge every year, and it's like their fall season. You seen that?
I've seen that.
Man,
they have an awesome YouTube channel.
Dude, yeah. Talking about, like, social media people that need a raise, man. That brother's running that one. They need a raise. Also, I want to say shout out to Ethan Parker Watt, social media guy for Elkton High School baseball. They need a raise. They've been paid $0. So maybe we can help.
But I enjoy it. I'm a Rising Sun guy, and you're doing a good job.
He is doing a great job. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. But Omaha Challenge, man, like they're grinding. And
so what's the Omaha Challenge? Because I don't know anything about baseball.
Essentially, they nominate captains for their team. Whenever they nominate captains, those captains draft squad.
Okay.
And then they put them through various physical, mental, baseball challenges.
Right.
And you can just collect points for your team, boost morale, tells kids how to compete before the season starts.
Sure. Cool.
So I've kind of adapted that into essentially. I mean, we only really get like 2 weeks to work with our guys before we start playing games or scrimmages. So we call it Elk Week, but it's really like a week and a half. And we do the same thing. So after tryouts, players nominate who they think is a leader, and I label out the expectations before they vote. I'm like, hey, this is what we're looking for in a leader. This is what we need in the captain, not just who swings it the best here. Because if that person's not swinging it the best, are they going to be a good leader when they're not swinging it?
Yep.
So we figure out who those captains are with our own process, and then they develop. They draft their own teams. They all look forward to that, and then got a big plaque that says Elk Week on it. And
Heck yeah, dude.
They get their names on it
They
if they
love
win. And
something to hold, man. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I bet.
Langston Belser's team won it this year. He was one of our captains this year, and whenever he turned in his jersey, I was like, hey, man, I got to have the plaque back. It's a heavy plaque.
Yeah, I can't keep buying plaques, man. The budget's not that good.
Dude, I made it. It's like, I got some piece of like rough cut wood from the tech teacher Smeltzer, and we just like routed the edges and stained it.
Nice.
Screen print, like
That's
little
even better, man.
Yeah, homegrown.
Awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
2 things. Do you know why it's called Omaha?
That's where the college.
Let's go.
The college national championships are played. World Series, sorry. National championships
Omaha,
football.
Nebraska.
Same thing.
Okay, I knew that one. And you have another one for me?
Ethan, was Coach Bacon still at Northeast when you were there?
No, it was Kevin Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was my coach.
Yeah.
He's been coaching ever since.
I think he's got 31 years teaching, and he's been coaching for a lot of those years.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
and
I wasn't sure. Coach Bacon was at Northeast forever, and then he went to Cecil, and then UD, or vice versa, UD then Cecil. Yeah, but he's my next door neighbor. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, he was like the GOAT at Northeast for a while. Still probably is. I mean, Kevin Brown's been there for a while. He's put together some very good teams there.
Yeah, Northeast is rolling right now. Yeah, they got some dudes going. We talked about Kiefer going to Maryland, and I know Flogger's going to Mount St. Mary's.
And then Evan England, I'm not quite sure where he's going, but man, he's
got
to be one of the best athletes.
I taught all three of those guys in middle school. I love all three of those guys, man. They're awesome. They are some trash talking mugs, but they're awesome.
I don't think. I mean, we didn't get into it at the end of our game, but they were kind of going back and forth. It was a 4-3 game. They doubled us off at the plate, so it's just like, and on their senior night, they were like, "Let's go, we just won."
Right.
And I don't think they were. I think it's all like a competitive thing.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
No,
They're
man.
just
like, this is like, I just won. So it's just and then I talked to him afterwards. I was like, "What my guy saying?" And he was like, I was like, "I'll talk to him. It's fine." And
when I say trash talkers, I initiated most of the trash talk at Northeast Middle, and they just gave it back to me. So,
they were taking it.
Not bad people. Just, they're very competitive.
Trash talking on the field is one of my favorite things to do, man. I love
baseball. You could probably just get away from it.
Oh my god, when you're playing shortstop or second base, and like when they got a runner on second, and you're just covering them for the pickoff or whatever, dude, I'm just chattering the whole time.
You were gritty, dude. You played gritty, man. I love that.
I was holding on to this one since you started. I am just terrible. I didn't even put together that Bruce Kline's your dad.
Yes, sir. That's my pops.
Think about the last name, and you're like, my dad's retiring. I'm like, retiring from the Bruce Kline's retiring. Kline. Okay. All right.
Yeah, congrats,
I love your
Dad.
pops, man. I have not seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he's
long time.
He's all right.
I'm gonna have to. I was joking with him. I'm like, hey, so you're no longer an Eagle now. You know that, right? I was like,
You're an Elk now.
Yeah, you have to start raking the field for me.
He probably loved that, man.
And he says he would love it, but he's not gonna do it.
He'll end up running your schedule and doing all the AD work for your.
Yeah, right. I thought about getting one of those old timey scoreboards where he has to go hang the numbers. You just sit up there. He's just that old guy out there with an umbrella hanging the numbers up.
Dodging a home run.
Who's that guy? Don't worry about
him. He's getting paid well.
He gets paid well.
Oh man.
So we're on to the next one. Even though you didn't go to the next level and play, what gave you the confidence to take over Elkton and know that you could create a winning program?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like I kind of always knew I was going to be a head coach. Even when I was kind of like grinding through those years in West Virginia, and then being Matt's assistant, and when I did take over the Legion team and I was the head coach, I mean, this is a summer ball team, but I'm out there trying to do like everything that I'm doing in the high school level. And looking back on it now, I probably should have adjusted for a summer league team to not do all of like the super like. I was doing like a lot of team building stuff, a lot of talking, like not enough reps for them because like they've already been playing. But I mean, now that I took it over, man, like I kind of have a chip on my shoulder a little bit. It's just like I kind of get that mentality where it's just like a lot of coaches don't respect another coach, or they don't necessarily like give another coach the time of day if they didn't play at the next level. And I feel that there could be like a little bit of insecurity of my own. But I was just like, I mean, I'm not coaching college kids. I'm coaching high school baseball. You know, so like I know what it takes to win at the high school level, and I know the structure the boys need, and I know that I can give them quality reps as a coach, like with whatever I'm doing, whether it's being like throwing good batting practice, hitting good reps and on the fungo, setting up good quality like everyday drills for them to do, that there's no excuses, and getting those drills done. Like at the high school level, man, you really need to try to work on making your team feel like they can trust each other and they care for each other. Because when emotions get high and you go through a losing streak, it's just like, who are your guys? You know? And dude, that's every level, I feel like. And I mean, I wish I could have some of that college experience to tell these guys like, oh, they're not gonna take that in college, but like that's not great advice either. Like,
sorry, go ahead.
Just surrounding myself with some guys that have been the next level. Like when Rossi helped me out that one year, man, that was electric coaching with him, dude. Like, I know that he's coaching football now, but like every year I'm like, he won't come back. he's like, shut up. but having him, like, I know he didn't play baseball at the next level, but like he knows what the work ethic takes to get to the next level. And it's just like, what's your work ethic?
That's all.
And what are your goals? Like, if your goals are going to go to the next level, yeah, I'll reach out and I'll try to find like what your routine needs to be and like what your strategy is to get the next level. And our assistant coach this year, Chris Roosevelt, EHS alum, went out and played at Cecil, played at Del Tech, and then eventually ended up in Frostburg, played there I think 2 years. So it's like, I mean, like, if someone wants to go to the next level, like, you don't got to talk to me. Like, you guys are all playing travel teams. Like, you guys are ones that are talking to those people in the summer leagues. Like, I'm here to get you guys to win some titles, man. Like, I want you guys to feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourselves here. Yeah. So, like, that moment will come for you later if you take advantage of your time now. So.
Yeah. We've mostly everybody that we've interviewed has played at that next level, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit. Like a lot of, like when we were in high school, like a lot of the coaches were just guys that liked baseball, you know, just kind of helping out, like filling a void type thing. And you know, it is nice to have a coach that played at the next level, but at the same time, when it's somebody like yourself that has surrounded themselves with the sport for their entire life, who's played their entire life up to college, you know, it's like you can't beat that kind of knowledge. Like you're not out there just to kill time. Like you're out there to help these kids improve. You're out there to create a team, to create a family. You know, you're to build some skills to help kids that maybe they're just out there, like we talked about before, like they just want to try out the sport. You know, whatever it may be.
But guys this year.
But
and I mean, like when I was at Wesley too. I mean, I just it's not a hidden secret. I didn't play much. Like I was on my double tight end package. I was a glorified 6 offensive lineman.
The big boys, you were in there.
Yeah, I was just a little husky outside guard, outside the tackle. And but like you've surrounded yourself, like you have your buddy from West Virginia that went on to do all this stuff, and you have all this knowledge from him. And Kevin Brown gave you a bunch of knowledge. And I don't know if he played at the next level. But like it doesn't matter if you surround yourself enough with it, and you learn and you do the research yourself, you're still gonna know as much. Like
anybody can look this stuff up.
Like me being a standout player at Wesley wasn't gonna make me a great coach.
No, it's not a prerequisite at all.
Right. You don't have to. You didn't have to go hit 400 at a college level to be a good coach.
Yeah.
You just need to know, how to run a good practice, how to care for your guys, and how to make a good culture. Right. And those three things they'll come to fruition. And you'll start winning games, and then you're looked at as a good coach. And your history doesn't mean a thing. Mm-hmm. That's the whole that's the whole big thing about it. Like like you said, there are other coaches that maybe don't have 1, 2, or 3, and they don't have 2 of the 3, but you just need those things. And for what I've heard, and we've had a lot of people, I will give you a shout out right now. When I just posted a thing yesterday asking, who should we have on? I had 5 Ethan Klines.
Oh, let's go.
So, and I was like, well, and I responded to him, good for you. He's on the night. He's on tomorrow night. We're recording tomorrow. So, you're doing the right things, no matter if you played or not.
When you build the right culture, when you create a family, everybody loves everybody. That's why people are shouting you out and telling us to get you on here, because they recognize you for creating such an amazing program and such a great culture at for the baseball team.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, man. We got our rough patches for sure.
Sure, every team does.
It's just when those rough patches when those rough patches come up, it's if some kids are getting into it with each other because dude, come on, high school boys just push each other the wrong way, or they take it too far, or maybe they get personal, and it's just having that conversation with those kids after everything's cooled down, maybe even 24 hours later. It's there's 2 ways we could have handled both of you guys. There's 2 ways we could have handled this, right? What are you taking pride in right now, other than simply yourself and your ego?
Yeah,
right. And how are you not setting that aside for everybody, again, being a part of something bigger than themselves?
It's so easily said.
About a 16-year-old
It's so easily said, right? To us, right? We're mature, and more mature, a little bit more mature than them. Speaking for myself, but you understand what it takes. I've been a part of the Wesley and seen a winning program, and I've seen dudes fight, and I've seen high coach nip that in the bud real quick. But like you said, what's the point of calling out your dude? A week ago he was your boy, and you're gonna call him out for something and put him on blast for something. It's well, none of us are gonna accomplish anything if we're just having that.
How do you feel about yourself after that?
Yeah, right. Let's say you're working with that kid. You're working with that guy later in life. You're gonna see that guy every day at work. You're not avoiding him. Yeah. So either figure out a better way, or you're literally just gonna hate coming into work because you're seeing that guy every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? For baseball, you only get a season, and you can stay away from for a little bit. It's a little different when you get out in the real life. So that's doing those little things, those little talks is what I'm trying to do too.
Right, and it's different at the college level because guys are fighting each other because they're super competitive. They're at that next level. Everything's heightened. They know they can do better. Blah 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 blah.
You have to fight. You have to fight for your spot. Yeah.
Right, and when you're at the high school level, kids are fighting because they're kids, man. You guys have one of the hardest jobs outside of teaching. You're helping these kids grow. You're literally walking them through 4 years of their life. You know what I mean?
Trying, baby. Trying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you, outside of their parents, you guys are giving them a life skill. And that's not easy to do. So people that put together such a great culture and such a great program like yourself, that needs to be recognized.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, man. Well, when you guys were talking to Rossi and how you're talking about you don't see a kid at lifts for a couple days, or someone didn't show up to practice, no show, no text, or something like that, and then you see them in the hallway the next day, hey.
Yeah. We got a little different. We see him every day.
It's just you're not escaping me, bro.
No.
What do you think who you running and hiding from? Yeah. Because I'll hunt you down, dude. You no show, no text me on practice.
Yeah.
Right? All they have to do is communicate.
Yeah.
And that alone, I'm if you don't communicate, man, that's 2 strikes. You're bad. You have to get out of a hole now, and it's all you gotta do is send a text hey man, sorry, mom had this thing planned or whatever.
Sure. That's a big thing in our summer lifting, I mean, we go 4 days a week, 5:30 to 7:30. I mean, it's Monday through Thursday. It's a large, because I know a lot of other schools do it in the morning, but like I don't think a lot of our kids would be able to get there. So we do 5:30, 7:30 night. Like I got long days in the summer, and that's what I tell them. Like I'm there. Like I was daddy daycare all day, but I do tell them, dude, you're a kid. You got a vacation planned? I'm not going to be mad at you for missing a week.
Right.
Like this is high school football. Right. Like I'm not telling you to cancel your whole summer for me, right? Or for you, or for your, like, you got to do what you got to do. If you want to miss a day to go hang out with your friends, just let me know you got something to do. It's the kids that I don't see for the entire 7 weeks. And then it's week 8, right? Right before we're about to take a week off for the summer, they show up. Where you been? Oh, well, I had...
It's working out the
it's like... But you didn't tell me. Like, that's all I need you to do is just give me a simple... I got a concert tonight. Cool. Have fun.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's life skills. Like, number one, communicate.
Yeah.
Dude,
like,
you're going to have to do it the rest of your life.
Right.
Like, when you're going to get married, and then you're, like, not going to tell your wife your plans? Bro. Bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And like right before like Kaylin and I got married, my wife, shout out Kaylin, love you.
Let's go.
She like shared a Google Calendar with me. I'm like, oh man, I'm locked in. Yeah, every weekend is taken up from here until 2026. Like,
I feel that, bro.
But hey, we communicate.
Shane's weekends are booked.
I don't even have kids, man. I don't know how you guys do it.
Oh
it's
my
tough,
goodness.
bro, you just got to push through.
There you go.
I think we're gonna have to end. You're gonna have to clip that one, dude. I mean, I'm just gonna keep talking, but you're gonna have to clip that one.
We'll clip that one out.
Keep this part about us clipping it, but take that out. Wow. All right.
I mean, hey, push through.
Let's go ahead and move on.
We'll move on to that one.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, you've kind of covered this.
Yeah.
Quick transition here.
Right.
You've covered a lot of this because you've talked about it, but like, what's your, and we always do this, like what's your top 3 things that you're doing on a daily basis to like better your players on and off the field? Like these are your 3 things you need to get to them.
Man.
And sorry to limit it to 3. If you don't, if you want more than 3, you go more than 3.
No, I mean it's definitely more than 3, but I mean like you have to have some kind of pillar, right? That you like. If you do 3 things well, you're probably a good coach, right? So I got this from Rossi. We do goal cards, right? And like the thing is like everyone does goal cards. Like, what's your why, right? We're like, why are you? And that's important, right? But it's only important if you hold them accountable, right? Because like I have a stack of cards that I just sit on my desk, and like if we have a bad loss or we got a big game coming up or whatever, and like we're in late April, and I'm like, I'll pull those out. I'll be like, all right, let's see what was this kid's team goal this year. Like I have them do an individual goal, team goal, and and then like what describes a winner, and then like a phrase or a word describes a winner. And then I think you guys were talking about this last week with Ross. He was just like, oh, well, we want to go undefeated. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
No numbers. Like
generic.
Like okay, I want to hit X batting average. I want to have Y RBIs. I want to have Z stolen bases. It's like, okay. So how do you attain that? It's like, I want to have a better approach at the plate and focus on having more contact. I want to do extra reps after practice, getting reads off a pitcher, so I know how to steal a bag and I feel confident in it. Stuff like that. So we hold them accountable to their goals, and man, like I'll get emotional reading over them, like especially after like a big win or like. Because like some of these kids will dig deep and they'll be like, listen, like I want to be a better young man, or I want to be a leader, or I want people to respect me. And it's like, all right, let's go. Like go be that young man, dude, and go be that leader.
Those,
So having goals, right? Because every kid's goals are going to be different. Like you said, some kids are going to want to go play the next level. Some kids are trying to have a good high school experience and be a part of a good team. So you're going to hold those players different. Like they're going to be held accountable differently, right?
Right.
And then, I mean, setting up a routine that kids can buy into and it's giving them quality reps is also important to me. So I mentioned this earlier, but we do. So like every practice we do, it starts the same, but I leave room for like variability within it. So like our stretch routine is rigorous, right? They have to do it properly. They have to do it together. They have to look good. Our catch play fell off a little bit this year, but I mean, like, you're throwing every day, so like you have to figure that out. Next year, I want to try to incorporate like more like pitchers throwing with each other, throwing more flat grounds when they're throwing. Like work on that change up here. And then we roll right into EDDs, and EDDs are specific to like catchers, pitchers, infielders, outfielders. And they have a set amount of things that they have to do every day. And then after that, maybe I'll like throw in like something different, like where like outfielders are doing one-step dives, infielders are working on picks or tags at the bag, like just random stuff to kind of keep it a little bit more fresh and loose. And then after we get done that, we do something we call it church. Everyone meets in, and it's just a sense. I used to call it pre-practice culture, but it's too much to say. So I'm like, all right, boys, we're going to church. All right, and I would say that's probably my third thing. So like, obviously the practice plans vary every day, but that's our structure, and then we get into what we have to get into depending on the week ahead or what we haven't worked on yet. Like, we haven't done bunt defense, so it's gotta be that day. Bunt defense day is always the worst day, but yeah. So the last thing is the you got that right. Second base covers first.
It does. I hate that day.
And then or PFPs, dude.
Yeah, hey man, PFPs.
Pitch fielder practice, baby.
I was gonna say that. You should have let me say.
I should give you a quiz on like what.
You got it. You know what?
So you know BP, right?
Batting practice.
What about GBs?
Ground balls.
Let's go. All right. I mean, we got some.
Do you know what a fungo is?
Yeah, it's the bat that pops better for pop flies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fungo work.
Keep going.
Keep coming. Let me eat.
Listen, I just had a session with. Do you know Johnny Campus?
I know of him.
So he's been subbing at our school. So him and LeBron, who's the assistant baseball coach, they were telling me things today. I'm like, wait a sec, what? I just learned that a backwards K was for a looking strikeout. I thought they only did that on the third K to stop, three.
Oh wow! Interesting thought process though.
I swear for 30 years.
To see that on TV.
That's what I saw. Now like. No. I'm like, okay. Cool. So anyway, sorry, I had a tangent there, but you're going back to church. There we go. Go to church, baby.
Amen. And we take, I try to only like limit to like 10 minutes, but like, all right, boys, we're going to sit here. We're going to talk about like, we'll do like some exercise, whether it's like breath work or you guys know Wim Hof. Yeah, so like I had him do Wim Hof one day.
Nice.
Like, we're all sitting and like
tingling.
Dude, yeah. I was like, if you feel your body tingling, it's okay. It's okay.
I love that video.
But dude, honestly, man, I was like, all right, guys, so this can be something where you guys don't want to visualize or you guys think it's silly or whatever, and you guys can brush it off, or you guys can lock in and maybe like have another little tool in your toolbox that could help you whenever you're in that big moment and you can't control yourself.
Absolutely.
So, that's an example. I try to just, in the off season, I do try to read. I am literate somewhat, but, and I try to incorporate some things that I learned from some of those books and just pull certain life quotes, like from, like John Gordon, Power of Positive Locker Room.
Okay, I've heard that, yeah.
Simon Sinek, Start With Why.
Right.
And, a couple of those guys. So, like, I try to incorporate that. So, like, we'll just have conversations about, like, how does this fit in your baseball life? How does this fit in your regular day life? How do you see this, how do you see your handling said situation when you're an adult with a family?
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
And, if that's, like, how many practices do we have in a year, right? It's like if a kid can get something from one of those sessions, it's like, all right, cool. Well, then you got something. And kids also know though if they're not paying attention, it's just like you got something else better to think about. Right. You want to contribute what your habits are right now.
That's a teacher in you. Right?
What's your routine look like right now? You want to talk about how you're locked in?
Yeah.
How you're locked in right now? You're looking at track practice.
Yeah,
right now, bro.
that's a teacher in you saying, "Oh, you got something to add to the conversation?"
Sure. What do you have? But the kids do.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, what do you guys think? And they'll be like, yeah, man. So like this happened last game. I felt like I wasn't necessarily locked in. I didn't have an approach. Felt weird at the box. I'm gonna try to make this adjustment to their practice.
Sweet. Right.
It's like,
good point.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Then let's go. Let's get you those reps that you need.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I was just wanting to hit, like you were talking about, with the goals, at least, like you don't want to do numbers, right? And that's really important because with baseball especially, it is really easy to focus on the numbers, right? Because everything breaks down to a number. You know, so like the fact that you're like, if they want to, I want my batting average to be this, right? Okay, well, how do you get there? You know, that is so important, and especially at that level, like a lot of kids can't get over that hump. Like they just see the pros going out there and doing this all the time and whatever. And I know I need to hit, you know, 350 because that's, you know, what a good average batter hits or whatever.
Really good, right?
I mean, at the high school level, that's average. You know, yeah. So, but you know, so it is important to be like, okay, well, you know, how do we get there? Is it, you know, reps at the plate?
And what happens if you don't?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you don't get there. What are you gonna do? Cry about it?
Right.
You know, like, what is your process to hopefully, like, what did you learn?
Right.
Right. Like, what did you not necessarily do to make sure that you got to that batting average or whatever? Right. And then if you didn't get that batting average, how are you going to pivot?
Right.
Like, what are you doing to adapt?
I mean, even just your practices sound like they're just so much better run compared to like when we were in school, because like, I mean, you probably remember, but I mean, I don't know, maybe not, maybe our high school coach just ran the same thing every time. It's like, okay, we're just gonna do batting practice, you guys get out to your positions and, you know, field the balls or whatever, you know, okay, we'll just do a little bit of situational stuff, you know, roll double plays or plays at home and, you know, stuff like that. And then when I got to the college level, it was like,
got this meeting, gotta be here.
Yeah, I was like blown away by like what was happening. You know, it was like outside of the normal for me. But and I had a little bit of it from travel ball, but high school, like specifically, it was like even like cutoff drills, dude. Like I don't know if you're running what kind of cutoff drills you're running, but like the cutoff system at the next level is more than just your shortstop or second base going out and cutting the ball
or
off.
third or first on the corners.
Right. So it's like, okay, it was like a total learning curve for me. Yeah. So.
But if you set that intention to start, like even if it is like that practice where it's just like, all right, boys, we're doing batting practice, and you guys are gonna get fun goes in the field.
Right.
Like as long as it's like, with me, Elkton High School baseball, we get through the things that we need to get through: stretch, throw, EDs, check the box. We talked about whatever the message was, or I feel like a pastor. Whatever my message was at church.
Hey Lord,
I get a couple amens over here. But after that, it's like, all right, so here's what we're doing for the rest of practice. So like, I'm labeling this expectation now. Like, do you guys have any questions? Because whenever we get to it, like, and if you're not with it or your head's somewhere else, like,
we don't have the
you're
time.
on the hot seat, bud. Like, everyone else is gonna know that you got to get yourself together.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, football practices, we have 2.5 hours, and it is like I need 19 different sessions in 2.5 hours. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like, I'm going to show you it once, and if you already know it, like, we're going to do it once. If you're sitting in the back of the line, you do it wrong, get moving. Yeah. Like, you got to have that structure, and like every time we're doing something, obviously we have way more facets to the game, right, that you're working on, but yeah, once you have that good structure, you go through your three things. You go through your top three things, and then you do what you're doing for that day. It's not going to be the same thing every single day. They can't be. They're high school kids. They have short attention spans. I have a short attention span. Bro. I don't even want to do that. Like, so they're not going to want to do it.
But dude, we control practice though.
Right. It's up to us.
When it comes to the game, like I kind of feel helpless. I'm like,
well, for you, especially.
What am I going to do other than be a
you can make
positive guy for you to look at that's going to develop confidence? Yeah, I mean, our signs we need to step up our sign game. Man. They're flailing around.
I don't even know how, like, if you're a good sign man, that's impressive. Like, I do a lot of hand signals on the sideline for calling my plays in, but watching that, I'm like, what the?
Coaches don't do the numbers though, bro. Get out of here. Stop with your stupid numbers.
Numbers?
They'll call a number. They all got like little wristbands.
Man, even the big leagues now.
When's Cecil County going to get the intercom system?
I was just about to say the big leagues.
I'm seeing stuff about it.
Oh my goodness, no way.
Yeah, like NFHS posts stuff about it. I think BSN even like has some things you can buy, but like
they just gave me something I could buy too. Some like huddle box classroom. Like, I don't have the money for that.
Yeah, dude, Huddle's expensive. Huddle has baseball now.
That's awesome.
And I was talking.
Do you use that?
I was talking to Feeney about it. I was just like, if we get that, whatever the Huddle whatever their like premier package.
Huddle sideline or the like Huddle silver or gold.
Pro or if we got
the basic Huddle,
you could just run it with all of your programs in the whole school.
Oh, okay,
and it cuts down every play for baseball because like
that's cool.
We have parents that will live stream on Game Changer and stuff like that, and Game Changer's kind of changing the
Yeah, we
game.
have a girl- we have
Kids
a-
can see all of their stats. Parents can see all their stats.
Yeah, we have a girl on our softball team. Our parents do that. And it's awesome because I get to see all the different clips and stuff.
And you can even like tap right. I mean, like we have parents that will just put up a GoPro, or I don't even know what they use. They just attach it to the back of the chain link backstop, and they'll just stream the whole game.
It's awesome.
So like I can go back and even like I haven't watched like full games, but like if I know a guy's struggling at the plate or whatever, like I want to try to help him out a little bit. I'll try to watch their at bats and be like, all right, man, like you're behind or you're not getting your foot down, X, Y, Z. Like,
right. Good tools.
Yeah,
a lot of good tools.
There is so much that Huddle does. That's the thing. Like Huddle for us is huge, but it's like we're the only team that uses Huddle. So it's like we have the basic Huddle that it is, but you can make Huddle what you want it to be because there's so many different features. You can make it as basic as possible. You can go as in depth to every yard line, hash down, result, game. Like it gets pretty wild. But yeah, it's a good tool. I don't know. I guess I don't know how it would work for baseball, but I'm not a baseball guy.
I think it's the same thing. They just break down like how they break down a play for football. They just break down every pitch and just every ball in play.
True. Yeah. All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be helpful. All those tools. I mean, like even the
just the eye in the sky. You just need the eye in the sky.
Yeah.
And then kids can cut their own clips and then put it on Twitter or put it on field level.
That's the kids love doing that. Yeah.
Well, they kind of have to if they want to go to the next level.
True.
You know?
True. Right. So, you want to get a little trivia here before we get to the back half here?
Yeah.
Are you ready for some trivia?
Yeah, sure.
Did you know you were getting into some trivia? I guess you did after you listened to Rossi's episode.
I did, yeah. I mean, it's a weekly thing, I guess.
Oh, play my music. Play my theme song. Let's go. Bang. All right. So, our record is... you like that one?
I like the bang. I thought that was pretty good.
You a game show guy?
That was spot on with the game show music.
I love game shows. What's our record? 3 for 3? Are we giving Anthony 3 for 3?
2.5. We gave him 2.5.
2.5.
Rossi didn't like
said
that.
no halves.
Yeah. So if we go no halves, 2
So
out of 3.
2 out of 3 is our record.
Yeah.
We don't make them easy either, so I apologize.
It is what it is.
So Shane found your first one, and we're looking for this is high school
went
senior
deep,
year,
didn't
right?
I did go deep. I mean, it's if you remember this, impressive because I would not remember mine.
Well, let's see if you got it. So we'll tell you the number of games at least, right? We'll give them that. How many games were played?
Yeah, you can get
All right. So what was your record your senior year at Northeast out of 18 games?
I know we won the division already. We won the Susquehanna that year.
All right.
We beat Pattersonville twice. That was sick.
There you go.
It's a really good record.
Yeah,
we didn't lose many games, but we folded in playoffs.
Is this including the playoffs?
You said 18. It was 18 games.
Out of 18 total for this
Well, it
record.
wasn't
we
in the
had.
playoffs then.
Okay, so
I was gonna say I don't have max preps.
Yeah. Shoot. All right. I'll go 12-6.
Oh, close. Really
13 and 5.
13 and 5. Man,
Yeah.
undercaught us. I can't do
It's
that.
good. Listen, it's good that you shortchange yourself, but it's better. 13 and 5. Now it's when we get to my questions. Make it a little tougher.
Your question a little harder than mine.
All right, so take a shot in the dark, or maybe you just know it. How many runs did your team score this past season?
This year? This season?
This past season, yeah. From Max Preps.
Ooh.
Seems like a pretty good number.
I agree. When I read that, I was like, whoa.
We had a lot of. We had some
big games.
lower division games.
Oh, yeah.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I think we had like 320 run games. So 80
Oh my god.
more. We're in
I mean,
hundreds.
according to this, it's way up there.
Above 100.
Oh, way above 100.
140. No.
Final guess.
Yeah.
Higher than that.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
what it
According to
says.
Max Preps this year.
According to Max Preps.
Interesting.
RF is runs 4, correct?
Real quick.
What?
RF is runs 4, and RA is runs against.
Right.
So runs 4 is your runs, right?
I'm gonna guess 154. Final answer.
176.
Wow.
Yeah, you did good. You did good.
Yeah, we lost a couple like pretty gritty, high scoring games that went into extra innings.
Okay. So
I mean, I guess it does add up quick.
how many games
18 games if you're scoring what 10? Oh no, you're wrong. We were scoring 10 runs a game, but
Well, what was your record this year? It was 11-11, right?
it was actually 11-9.
Okay.
11-9.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, because like did you look on County Sports Zone or Max Preps? Max Preps got weird with our like some Aberdeen games got doubled, and our Havre de Grace game got doubled. But in the regular season we were 10-8, and then we won against you guys, and then we lost against Falston. So 11-9.
All right. So this is one of your runs. This is one of your games that accounted to that 176.
I saw you put this in there, and I just feel bad because
No. I mean,
who was the team?
it was Edgewood. But I'm not like talking to anybody. I just said
I know.
in your 20-0 win over Edgewood, how many players recorded an RBI? This was from an article from some site I didn't even recognize.
Interesting. How many players scored an RBI? I'll say 10.
Oh, I thought it was coming out of your mouth. I heard that 8.
I wanted to say 8, but then I was just like, you know what? Let's go with 10. Let's see if I had another guy. Because I had guys come off the bench that game just to get it. So I was like, maybe a guy came up. And
So 8 players recorded an RBI. Pretty solid. Obviously, it has to happen to score 20 runs.
it does.
All right. Well, listen, I don't make them easy. I think I should start making them easier and see if they can.
Damn, I'm 0 for 3.
Yeah. It's all right, man. Those are tough.
Sorry,
Listen, it's okay. Was Rossi?
Rossi was
Rossi was also 0 for 3.
Was he? So I was thinking 1 for 3, but maybe he was 0 for 3.
I can't remember his question. Let's look at his questions. Where's he at? Where's Rossi at? No, because I didn't make him easy for him either. His was, what was your 40 time, what was your squat, and how many points did you score? So no, I think he was 0 for 3 too.
I thought you were going to pull like a high school batting average for me. I'm glad you didn't do that.
I couldn't find
Dude,
it.
it's tough to find some stuff, man. Especially if I'm at home and I have to look at the Cecil Daily and it allows me one read at an article. And I'm like, well, I guess I've got my dues. Yeah, that's it.
But even like max preps for like your senior year, like it had your
that's
record.
Always skewed, yeah.
It had your record, but it didn't have the roster. Like, so nobody.
Your coach had to enter that in.
Yeah.
I remember Kevin Brown would give us like, I think he would just print out a spreadsheet. And then he would cut along the lines.
Get your little strip.
You would get a little strip.
Like you got it in class. Here's your grade. It's like.
I remember like my sophomore year when I was playing on varsity, I split some time with the senior catcher because he pitched, and I think I hit like 250 my sophomore year, and I thought I was like the biggest dog. I was like, yo man, 15 years old, let's go, man. I'm about to eat next year.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Who was the guy you split time with?
Joe Groff. Oh. Remember him? Yeah. I think I actually caught a decent amount of games that year.
Yeah. Old Joey.
Yeah, well.
All right. So.
You want to do the mid-show sponsor?
Yeah, we'll get that going. Yeah. So, new mid-show sponsor here. So, one of our new sponsors is Design Concepts, your hometown hardscaping professionals. Are you missing out on a genuine quality time spent with your friends and family in your own backyard because you don't have your ideal area? Or is it a simple open space, your property that could use a professional touch? If any of that sounds familiar to you, be sure to reach out to your local design and build professionals at Design Concepts. Your team will create the outdoor oasis of, their team will create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. They have over 23 years of expert experience in the hardscaping industry. Whether you need a paver patio, a retaining wall, outdoor kitchen, fireplace, pool deck, the list goes on. Their main focus is to fulfill their clients' expectations by bringing joy and satisfaction from their projects that can last a lifetime. Reach out to Dave at 410-920-5355 and find them on Facebook at Design Concepts or contact them via email at designconceptsmd@gmail.com. Now listen, I this is my cousin, this is family here, but I've worked with him for one summer. The dude is attention to detail. So you want something nice?
He does
hit
do
him
great
up.
work.
Hit him up. All right. So let's keep moving on here. So we talked about your student athletes, and you talked about having a lot of really good ones, right? And you got a lot of guys that you're proud of. So what is the way that you help, or Shane Fraser, like what's the goal to try and help these guys play at the college level if they want to?
Yeah. That's like kind of my main focus this off season is I know a lot of those guys do that stuff themselves, but I'm like, listen man, whatever I can do for you, like whatever you need that I can do for you, like you need a letter of recommendation, you need me to talk to a coach,
right?
You need extra reps before you go out to that school. Like one of our players is going to go to Roanoke. he's got to do some extra work, man. Like, and his dad came up to me and he was saying about how before he goes down there, he just needs to get some more reps before he's trying, because I think he's a preferred walk-on or something like that.
Gotcha.
So it's like, what are you going to do to make sure that you can kind of get ready for that?
Right.
I'm going to have like some just like little individual things for me and him, and maybe some other player to come in and work with him so he can try to get ready.
Right.
Besides that, this past season, the 2023 season before we started, that's when my buddy was coaching at Salem, and they traveled close down to here to play at Westchester. Westchester's got a cool program, and they actually ended up taking 2 or 3 from the series from them, but the game we watched, they got smoked. Sorry, JT, dude, like, you guys got burnt that game, man. It was like a 22-3, something like that. And then, and JT, but it was awesome because I brought some of my guys that wanted to go to the next level, and since JT's a great guy, and 2, one of my best friends, he stayed after and talked to those guys too, and they were able to ask him questions, and some of my guys are a little bit smaller, so they were like, what do you look for in a player? Are you immediately going to just be like, all right, I'm 5'8", 160 pounds, you're not even going to look at my tape because of that, or what are things that I can do to kind of stand out? Yeah. He gave them pretty good answers too, so that was a good experience for them. And then again, having those guys that have those connections with colleges, man. I mean, I try to keep a really good relationship with Charlie and Tanner over at Cecil. Because, man, I want guys to go play there. Right. The Romero boys, I'm gonna shout out here in a second, man. They're going to Lincoln, which I'm proud of them for, but they very well could have went to Cecil just as well and played there, been in the county, and then try to find somewhere else better to go after that. But
yeah, I mean, Charlie does a really good job of getting, players in at a very competitive JUCO, and then getting them after their 2 years, getting them to that next level. He's got a lot of connections at Maryland, or at least he used to. So
and he's just a great baseball mind. I've learned so much from him too.
He is. Yeah, I mean, you're doing all the right things, just being available, like you said, being open for these kids or the parents to come to you, and dedicating your time. I know you don't have kids, but life is crazy. So the fact that you're willing to give up some time to help these kids get to the next level, I mean, that's huge. That's really big, and maybe you could just be like a feeder system for your buddy at Salem, sure. If you had some really good guys.
Well, he's at Texas now. He's with the Rangers now, but he's still
a feeder system for the Rangers.
Yeah, send him right up.
To the league, man.
Bunch of Jackson Holidays. So, me as a football coach, I'm in the midst of the spring recruiting where I just have a coach every week. It's like, I'm coming here, I'm coming. And I've heard from Barker and LeBron just saying, do the coaches let you know, hey, I'm coming to check out this kid's game? Or did it, because I've also heard from our team as well, Luke Crow had a coach that contacted him to come watching, but Barker didn't know, So, is that normally how it works? The coach is saying, I'm coming out to this game to watch
kids are really advocating for themselves, man. Twitter's been huge. My Twitter game is terrible.
So is mine.
Dude, I just don't.
Rossi's doing a good job. I'm terrible.
It's X now.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Elon. Meeting Elon close.
That's cool. Well, if he wants to give a sponsor,
he just wants to come on.
I said the same thing on his hunting podcast. Sorry, Elon, because I don't even use it enough to know what it's called anymore.
It's crazy that is the place to go.
It is, though, man.
But I mean, and you post a quick video of you hitting a ball in the left center gap, and then little blurb about yourself in the game, what your stats were, and it's just the college coach sees that and they're your swing, cool, and they just reach out to you, and then it kind of makes me feel a little helpless because it's man, I wanted to talk to the coach, but it's not me. And speaking of Luke, dude, man, he's a stud.
He had a good year.
He could very well be the best pitcher in the county next year, man.
He had a good year.
So I mean, I know we got some stud pitchers I'm excited for next year, but Luke is
if you put a little extra more work in my strength conditioning class, it might be even better.
Are you running any strength and conditioning stuff?
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah,
nice.
so we that's one of the first things I started when I came to Elkton, because I was looking at our talent, quote unquote. And I was just like, all right, we gotta get some stronger guys, and you guys gotta run and do some things. And I mean, I'm not a gym aficionado, but I mean, I know like what you guys need to do. Yeah. I know like you going on the leg extension machine a couple times isn't going to get you there.
Right. So LeBron, so I've been doing my strength and conditioning program for 7 years now since I started at Rising Sun, and LeBron has helped me out with it, and he works in the school too. And he's like during the winter, I'm just going to get the baseball guys in there. I'm like, yeah.
LeBron's a really good coach. He's a good guy.
Bring him in. And so we would get like 12 baseball guys in there, kids that weren't playing basketball or wrestling or something like that. And like, yeah, so they started to buy into us. And some of those cats were getting like Walker Ayers. Dude is strong as an ox, man. And great kid too all around.
Yeah, I like Walker.
But you got to.
So we started with that. I'm trying to do something this year. I work out at a CrossFit gym and that big complex in Blue Ball. It's called CrossFit Equity.
Oh yeah, is that Blankenships?
No. So he actually, I think they're not doing that anymore, but it's right next to them.
I think it's closed.
Did it?
Yeah. So it's CrossFit Equity. It's just right down the street from the one that you just mentioned. But I'm really trying to get like a core group of guys that want to go in there and like just try out some Olympic lifting, start sprinting more.
Absolutely.
Get on for me, and like being able to move my body better now as an adult than I was able to as a high school player, just by lifting and doing proper movements and mobility training. It's just like I'm able to be a better coach because I can move better, and like you guys need to, because like I got some players that are always hurt, and like they got a knee issue, they got an arm issue, or their back's tight or their hamstring, and it's like.
It's the biggest thing about I say day one, every single time we start a winter, a spring, or a summer, this is all about injury prevention.
Dude.
Right.
It's about getting you stronger, but it's about injury prevention. I need you to last, like, knock on wood, like, in 7 years that I've been doing this, we've had one broken arm. And that's not from lifting. Right. And we had one torn ACL, and that was in lacrosse season. Like, you got to understand the body. Like, you have to push it to limits now. So when you push it to limits in the game,
you've already experienced it.
You've already experienced it. Yeah.
Like I can't recommend guys to get in the weight room enough. Like, and you need to have a plan. Like, you're not just going and lifting in your basement, and like you're not going to hold yourself accountable. You need to be lifting with other guys,
with your teammates.
Dude, don't go to the Y by yourself. Don't go to Planet Fitness by yourself. Get on the stupid elliptical machine. Like, get with your boys and push each other.
Right.
Like,
it's like that in my classes when I have strength conditioning. I lift at home. It's like, well, you took this class, but for me in my lifting, it's like I'm lifting at home, but you're not lifting with these 40 other dudes.
Yeah,
like you're not seeing them grind every single day and like just shouting at them when they're getting that last rep of squat, or like that's what you need.
Yeah,
like
if you're by yourself and you do I put that extra plate on?
No.
And you see your boy put that extra plate on, like,
100%.
Right.
Maybe I got to step it up today.
That's how they sold it at Wesley. They sold it at Wesley because offense lifted on this side and defense lifted on this side. And you had to look across at the guy that you were going to go block in practice and see that guy's doing more than me. Screw that. I'm doing more than him. That's the way you set it up. It's a great way, yeah.
That's competition with just lifting.
Internal competition, any style you can get is the best way to do it, yeah. So, sick. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that, really we've only adopted our baseball team. Now the Hess has adopted our basketball team. I will take the entire summer off and train my entire school if they wanted to come out.
Yeah. Right. It would be nice to kind of have just like all of the coaches, because our weight room, man, it needs.
That's what I was going to ask. What are the facilities like over there?
It's nice. It could be so much better. We just have machines that we just don't need. Yeah. And
you guys have a lot of nice machines for class.
Yeah,
but not for a full scale.
Like I'm saying, like come on, get that. Like who's doing leg extension? like I mean, I get it if like you're doing some rehab or whatever, but like even then, it's like,
right? You can't use the machines. You can't use the machines in your team lifting.
We don't have any room to do free weight stuff with dumbbells because you got to take the dumbbells on the whole way, and it's fine. I mean, we make do. It's a high school. It's a high school program, but if we are able to kind of get everybody in and everyone's lifting, I think that would be kind of cool too. Yeah. Like. Cross sports, like hey, we're all here to just try to get stronger.
Good. So, I know Rossi has his system too, but like if you're getting into it the way we do it, and I'm not trying to I'm just giving like advice. I adopted this from Wesley, and it's the best thing ever. When we do squat, bench, or like deadlift or hang clean, like our Olympic lifts, it is lifter 1, ready, blow the whistle. It's a machine. Like, man, we're all moving, lifting together. Everybody screaming at one person at the same time. Lifter 2, get ready. Oh, cool. Then their weights on. Lifter 2, whistle. Dude, it's
all right.
Dude, it's sick, man. Like when you, and then at the end, our big thing is from Wesley, last set, best set. Right before we're doing it, it's last set and it's best set from everybody.
Sick.
Blow the whistles loud as you can. Throw a pump up jam. Dude, it gets me amped up. Gives me the goosies.
I mean, like what other experience do you want to have?
Yeah,
it's like you're like lifter 2. Like, all right, you're watching lifter 1, right? And it's like, all right, I'm lifter 2.
And then when you get to the auxiliary lifts, it's like we say rapid fire. Like it's on your own, right? When you're working with somebody else, but like the main lifts, when it's all just one machine working together. All the energy is awesome, man. So. If you want to adopt that, there you go.
I will, man.
You can steal that from us.
But honestly, Barrick, what he's doing at CrossFit Equity, dude. I mean, I know you guys are doing like local sports, but I mean, he's a great coach because like you walk in that place and it's the same kind of thing, but you're just with a bunch of adults or even like some kids that come.
Yeah,
and, like
the routine is established.
Well, like the workout's already established, so like I don't have to think about what I'm doing that day. I just show up, right, and then it's also I'm competing.
Yeah.
Like not only with myself, but also other people around me. Like again, if I see someone else is like doing the RX weight or something like that, and I wasn't feeling that weight, but I see Joe over there doing it. All right, I'm gonna do this weight. All right, I'm gonna do this weight. So
it'd be kind of cool if he could adopt like a youth program in there, and then like if you're a student at one of the Cecil County schools or whatever, like you get a discount or whatever, and then that way that would drive a lot of kids to get in there.
Yeah, I think CrossFit's probably the best way kids can learn how to use their bodies properly.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it is.
I know CrossFit.
I don't love CrossFit.
It definitely gets the reputation of like kind of being like douchey or like I'm better than you, but.
But you have every lift you do in there is so like movement based.
You have to do it right,
and if you don't do it right,
you're gonna feel
it doesn't count as a rep, or you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So it's I don't love CrossFit. I'm just gonna put that out there. But
that's fine, dude. Listen.
But I do understand the benefits of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing the Olympic lifts that CrossFitters do too. So I mean, as long as you're trying to be powerful,
100%. It's all about. Yeah. Especially baseball. I mean, you gotta have that quick power, the one-time power. Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about. Well, as much as I know about baseball. So, so anyway, like going into so you've been coaching for how many years? Head coach.
Yeah. I took over in 2019, so then we had that COVID year.
Okay. So you're 4 years in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, 5 years in, you were planning on doing that. Or, no, the COVID year, you guys ended up playing spring sports, right?
We didn't end up getting a game in, but we practiced like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. It hit that late March.
We did the, well,
and March 1st is whenever we start.
We had this, but you did play the year that football shut down, because we started, played one scrimmage, and then they shut down, but then spring sports came back around.
Yeah, so essentially everyone kind of got screwed.
It wasn't. I thought
it was just going to be spring sports that 1 year and everything was going to be normal next year, but
yeah, you're right.
Which could have really it set back a lot of people too. Like the development process for a lot of those guys, but now we're through it though. So
yeah. People were like, and especially in football, like that COVID year. 2 years after. Now it's like 4 years after.
I'm like, excuse anymore,
that excuse is dead. That excuse is dead.
No excuses.
That excuse is dead. Yeah. So, like, looking forward to your next, let's just say next year. Like, what's your main goals going into your next year?
Yeah, so I feel like late at night when your mind's racing, it's like, I want to do this. I used to make fun of my dad for like texting voice to text, like using Siri, and like now only things like my reminders list on my phone is just wild, and like it doesn't I mumble a lot, so like it doesn't get my voice, so I'm like deciphering the reminder for the next day. But
I do this weird thing where I set an alarm, and in the alarm note I'll put like whatever I was thinking of that day.
All right, I mean, but yeah, it's something to like. Because like I like to write things down because I think it helps me remember. But I mean, like if I'm just like cutting the grass, I'll be like, remind me tomorrow to look over the goal cards, like something like that. And then everything's for the tomorrow morning. So like once I hit school, like 7 o'clock, all these reminders are rolling. But to get back to your question, like when my mind's racing, and I know I want to do all of these things, I can't do them all in 1 year. So it's like, what did I do last year that worked well and that we're going to keep, right? What are we going to change? And then what's 1, 2, maybe 3 things that I want to kind of ripple in this next year? Like, one could be a structural thing with practices. Another thing could be like a, I don't know, like swag thing. Like this year we did team helmets and kind of like crossed over with football with their stickers. Like we did stickers. We did stickers this year. So like we had 3 kinds of stickers. Our mantra this year was to stack bricks. That was our mantra. Like kind of building a foundation. So like are we building a foundation that's better for us next year? And if we're not going to be there next year, are you leaving it better for somebody else?
Amen.
So
that's good stuff.
That was kind of our main mantra this year. Like, we're here to stack bricks.
Yeah,
and then, so like, if you're just doing everything right, you're being a leader, like you're doing whatever's asked of you, you're making the plays, like you're giving good at bats, like you get a brick. Then we had like a 101% sticker. So like, you're impacting the pitcher's rhythm on base paths. Again, another like quality at bat where you're fouling off like 7 pitches and then you draw a walk or you get a single up the middle, or even if like you lay out for a ball, good hustle play, you don't make the play, but maybe like you showed a lot of heart there. That's 101%, man. Because that's juice. Like even if like there's a hard hit ball up the middle and like both of your middle infielders are laying out for that ball, and that ball squeaks through, it's like, all right, you saw us, we were there. Like next time, man. Next time I'm gonna get that ball. Like
that's just a good hit.
That's kind of mentality you gotta have. It's like tip your hat to them, but like you gave 101%. And then the last one was for guys that were driving in runs, and it was Porter from Sandlot calling a shot. It was just a picture of Porter. Nice. Like that. Yeah, that's awesome. So the guys really like to get the Porters this year because I mean they were swinging the big stick, but yeah, that was something new that we did this year that I think the guys kind of really.
They love stickers. They love stickers.
Yeah, and
me too. I mean, they football.
And they were always like, I'll give them to them. They're like, thank you. I'm like, thank you, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
What are you thanking me for? Like, you did this. So.
Yeah.
And then church was something that we kind of just did a little bit more of a spin on this year to kind of like hold kids more accountable with the expectations of how to be a better young man.
Sure.
Like next year. So the off season's for, baby. You know, I'm going to figure it out and then kind of see what I want to do next year and what we're going to roll with. I got a couple ideas. But I'm also hoping that, like, me coaching golf, like, when I was interviewing for golf, I was like, I shot a 102 today. So it's like, bro, like, I'm not going to help you guys out, like, by, like, being some, like, collegiate level, like, golfer who knows how to put a spin on the ball, XYZ. Like, I'm here to learn how to be a better coach. I think that I have been able and blessed and grateful enough for having good players that buy in to what the expectations are, and I want to challenge myself to see if I can do that in a different sport. And if I can't, or if I have roadblocks in that different sport, what are causing those roadblocks, I'm going to learn whatever those roadblocks are, how can we get around them, and then I'm a better coach because of it. So
I mean, that's how you keep your competitive mind sharp too. You know, it's like setting up challenges for yourself, like you're saying, and then trying to overcome them.
And like I said, man, I'm going to bring some of those baseball boys that aren't doing anything. You're going to swing a golf club because, like, if you don't have your approach when you're stepping up to a tee box, I know you're a disc golfer, right?
Yeah. I was going to get to that.
Okay, all right, hold on. I want to talk about hucking the discs. But it's like okay, like if you're on that tee box or you're getting ready to have your approach for disc golf, or I'm getting ready to step in the batter's box, like, is your mind quiet? Like if you have a bunch of thoughts going through your head and you're getting ready to drive the ball off the tee box, bro, you're not going to drop the ball. Like, so there's so many things that can be transferable just by trying to maintain a competitive edge, and like whatever you want to do, whatever sport it is, like even if it's tennis, like you're still moving, you're still being an athlete, like you're still trying to figure out ways to win and bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good answers.
We'll transition into the disc golf because Rossi told me you're dabbling in the disc golf nowadays.
Actually, just bought a new disc. Just got delivered right before I came here. I was showing Kaylin, I'm like, look how cool this thing is, man. But I was playing with some guys the other day, and they're like showing me like their discs and all that. They had the bag, and I was like, oh my god.
I can pull my bag out.
You got one of those big bags.
I mean, I have a bag, but that means I'm good.
But they were like, feel this one, feel that one. I'm like,
cool, it's a disc. Yeah. It's the same way I feel now. Still, I've been playing for 3 years. Listen, you have to come out to one of our doubles rounds.
Let's go. Yeah, man.
There's every Tuesday night. There's doubles where you just get paired with like me and you were B players. That's what they consider us.
Barely.
Just, well, that's
I'm speaking for myself, though.
It's A and B. That's all you get. So then you get paired with an A player, and you get to go out and it's like best shot.
Cool.
It's a cool thing to like get out and just like learn some new things and just get to go chuck discs. So
I'm normally player B on the golf course too. Player A does not hit that ball right, but player B steps up, hits that ball perfect.
I don't know if there's a letter low enough for my golf game.
I'm terrible.
I'm a one a year Tigers Athletic Club boosters golf outing kind of guy.
Cool.
Yeah, I just go drive the cart around and watch other guys do really well.
Yeah.
Maybe hit a putt every now and then.
Golf outings are fun, man.
Golf outings are great.
That's been one of our main fundraisers in the off season.
You got one coming up, right?
Yeah, man, June 1st. We got one coming
shout
up.
Out. So. There you go.
Still,
Furnace Bay.
You still looking for sponsors and stuff? If people are listening, they want to
for sure. Yeah.
just hit you up directly.
We try to keep it local, like small businesses that are like trying to like we get a lot of like insurance agents, real estate agents, local construction businesses a lot. But it's more people that are willing to donate. But
right.
I mean, if people are trying to get like their small business off the ground, like I mean, someone sees your sign, they see what service you provide, like it's pretty cheap advertising kind
right.
of.
And all the money helps, I guess, fund the baseball team.
100%,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Furnace Bay, it's where we have ours too. Also a great.
Dude, they're great there. They're great there, man. Like
it's perfect location for a golf outing. It's not too fancy.
Yep.
But
it's right up my alley, man. I don't want to go to a hoity-toity place where you got to fix your ball mark or they got to tell you what thing you got to do, like X, Y. Like
I'm not fixing my divots.
Well, any ball I hit doesn't make a divot. Sure. So, I don't know how to make a divot. So
that's about the only golf term I know. So
yeah, if I take a huge chunk behind the ball as I miss the ball, then I'll fix that. But like, if I'm putting a divot on the green, I'll probably never take another golf shot again because that's best golf shot I've ever taken in my life. Well, all right. Well, we got a couple questions left for you. You know, if you could go, back in the past when you were playing high school ball, what's one piece of advice that you'd give yourself, knowing as much as you know now about the sport and just being a high school athlete?
Yeah, what would I tell past Ethan?
Yeah. What's a letter to yourself?
Man, I think about that all the time.
Dude, I heard a quote. I heard a quote the other day, man. It gave me chills. It was like, kind of like being like what we're also saying, like being where your feet are now. Like, what would your 15-year-old self think of you now? Like when I'm 31, right? It's just like, well, like would they be like, man, that guy's cool. And it's just like I feel like my past self would be proud of me,
Right.
It's like, and then that kind of gives you a little bit of juice. But
absolutely,
if I am going to go back to that past self, man, like I took my game serious. I feel like I could hit the ball, but hitting such a mental game, and I didn't have the confidence all the time. So, I say this all the time to my guys. I'm like, listen, confidence is probably the hardest thing that I can coach for you. And my dad always said, growing up, he was like, confidence is like, he says, confidence is like bad breath. Everyone knows you have it, but you can't get it from anyone else. It's not contagious. Right. Now you can be in a supportive environment that's positive, and your boys are like, hey, man, I trust you, I care for you, man. Let's go up and let's get this bread, right? Or like, let's get this hit, or let's do the job. But at the same time, like, you can be hearing all that positive feedback, but if you have negative self-talk, or if you're not ready for the moment, or something your head's not quiet,
right,
you're not going to be successful. So it ultimately comes down to you to like find whatever your confidence is. So the one way I was able to figure out my confidence was, I remember first game of the season, man, we played you guys, and I was our 3-hitter. Like, I was supposed to be like one of our best guys, and my buddy Rob, who was the first baseman, he was the 4-hitter, or maybe it was vice versa, whatever. Like, we were in the heart of the lineup. Man, I went over 3 with 3 strikeouts, and I couldn't see anything. And I was just like, man, that's how we're starting the season off. And then, like, I don't think I made it up past like the 6th hole after that. So I knew no one behind me could catch better than me. Like, so like, I mean, like, I took that role so serious. And then what I did is I just tried to help be the best like pitcher manager defensively that I could.
Right.
Try to keep every ball in front of me, man. I feel like I didn't have many pass balls, and I feel like I didn't have many kids steal on me. So it's just like, if I'm going to be able to make sure that I know I don't necessarily have the confidence in my offensive approach at the blocks because I'm not feeling right, or my head's not quiet enough, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna dominate on defense. Like, and as a coach, you're not gonna take somebody out of the lineup that produces on either side of the baseball. Like, same thing with football. Like, I mean, I know Rossi was talking about 2 platoon players, but I mean, if you have some people that's playing offense and defense, it's like you can't let your offensive error or mishap lead into your defensive play.
Yeah.
Like, so
turn the page.
Yeah, man, confidence, dude. Yeah, whatever's in the past, man, flush it. You have shit at bat, flush down the toilet.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, trying to be proactive with providing what I do now, because I know that I had confidence issues and stuff like that when I was in high school. Like, trying to provide kids like what can you do with your routine and your everyday approach that gives you confidence.
Yeah.
And are you applying the things that we're talking about with Wim Hof, or we did concentration grids once. You ever do those?
I don't know what that is.
It's like I got it from Brian Kane. Shout out to JT, he showed me them. But Brian Kane's like a mental coach guy that would come in. He came into West Virginia. He goes into like pro teams like that and all the time, and just kind of like a mental coach. But it would be like this paper, and it'll be a grid of 100 numbers, right? Okay. And it's just 100 numbers randomly, and you just have to like go through and like cross out 1, find 2, cross out 2, 3 until you get to 100. Okay. And you're like, okay, all right, I can do that. And then like you give them, and then like, all right, you're timed, starting. And then and then people will be like
freaking out.
You'll see some kids that are like freeze. You'll see some kids that will be like, I can't find 12. Man. Is 12 on here? And then you have that conversation where it's just like, bro, you're freaking about numbers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, Luke Crowell's going to be throwing close to 90 from the left side of you guys, and you're freaking out about you can't find 12? Like, step out, dude. Take a breath. Let's go. Like,
sure.
Come on. Like,
yeah, that's very little, but yeah, it's,
have a little bit of perspective on the situation and how can you make yourself better.
No high school kid would ever think about that,
sure,
unless it was given to them like that. Yeah, right. Like, you're not thinking about 1 through 100. Okay,
silly.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that's why we titled the last episode, you know, you're gonna win the little battles.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I struggled with it too, man, and like I was the same boat. Like I had all the confidence in the world in the field. I knew that I was the best middle infielder out there, and nobody would, you know, beat me at that spot. But when thank you. But when I got to the plate, man, like sometimes I was hot. You know, sometimes I knew I was going to go up there and just rake. But then there was times where I'm like, I don't stand. Before I even got in the box, I'm like, I don't stand a chance. I'm striking out.
You know, you get 0-2 fast, and you're like,
yeah,
well, chalk it up.
Yeah,
but. Bro, no. Don't chalk it up. Like, you still have another opportunity.
Yeah.
You have plenty of different opportunities.
But it's tough, man.
But that's the best thing you can do but just as a coach in general, knowing that if you make a mistake that you're not going to go back and just be like, well, I'm dead to him. Right? You know what I mean? Like, that's the best. If you can have the trust with your coach that it's like, well, I just struck out looking, and it's like, well, Coach Kline's not going to go rip me a new one. Next one.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll make changes, man.
Sure.
And sometimes the change, I'll go up to the kid and be like, hey, listen, nothing you're doing wrong. We just had to make a change.
Yeah,
pitch and change.
But you explain it to him.
Yeah, and then sometimes just like, hey, man, like I'm gonna have this other guy hit for you. We gotta have someone else seeing it a little better.
Right.
And it's not like I'm like, hey, you suck. It's just like, dude, like.
But that's the lessons they're gonna learn.
I'm like,
tough,
listen,
man.
like tomorrow we're going to get back in the lab, and then you're going to be playing in the next game. So, like, dude, the water completely under the bridge, learn from this moment. Yep. And if you show me that you're not learning from this moment, or you're showing me that you feel like this is defining you in a negative way and you have no positive reaction to what you're doing, you're not trying to be proactive with extra reps, then you're writing your own story, bro.
Right.
So, I mean, again, setting that expectation of, like, what are you willing to do? And then holding them to that expectation, and then whenever they make the decision to hold themselves to that expectation or to not hold themselves to that expectation, it makes my decision a little bit easier.
Yeah, true.
So,
yeah, and you hope everyone does that. I hope everyone holds themselves to that expectation.
Yeah, and I want to shout out my boys, man. They all do. They all try to hold themselves to that expectation. But like you're saying, baseball's a hard game, man. Like sometimes, like you can to get those extra reps off the tee, or you can get those extra front toss reps, you can get those extra BP reps, but you're still going to step in the box in the game, and your head's not right.
It's a team. Yeah, I mean, as much that but it's a team sport that is very individually based.
Wow.
Right.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
Like you have 9 guys out there on the field. Maybe.
But that one guy has to make a play.
Maybe 2 guys are involved in the play.
Yeah.
I mean, the Elkton Rising Sun playoff game is a perfect example. You know, a couple errors.
Yeah.
You know, leads to Rising Sun losing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just like that's just what it comes down to. You can have your number 3 guy can be 4 at the plate and have 2 great plays in the field, but it doesn't matter.
He might not score a single round.
What 8 guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's just such a crazy sport.
Sometimes you're only as good as the bottom of your lineup.
Right.
You know, like if like
baseball.
So like
tough,
you're 6 through 9.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's football. Same thing. Like if you're trying to run a play where you have 11 guys having to do a job and 9 guys do the job, don't expect that to be a positive play.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's
right.
It's what it is. It's you're still doing individual assignments, but they all mesh together for
a collective.
So I mean, when you're doing your cutoff, you still got to be in your spot because if that guy messes up, but if maybe it was a bad throw from that guy, he didn't mess up, but you had to be,
Dude,
backing that guy
had
up.
some milky hands on them cutoffs, dude.
Oh yeah.
I used to love cutoffs.
Milky
dude.
hands.
Oh,
I used to wish guys would try to stretch a triple out or
That's what I'm
try to
talking
go.
about.
Oh my god,
I'd
dude!
hose him down.
I would, dude.
I'd throw. I mean, that's why
I'm right there every time. Bam.
Glory days.
every time I catch a ball,
I'm all old
I
now.
just pop my hips real quick. And all the baseball guys like, that's like, all right. I thought
Thought it'd be worse.
And the campus today, or yesterday or whatever, he's popped my hips. He's like, mine was pretty good. I was like, that ball would have been 100 feet over where I was trying to throw it. I got good hips, but it's all the rest of the stuff. So, yeah, no, that's the beauty of the sport. Turn the page. Beauty of any sport. Just turn the page.
Yeah.
We had Tremo on a track. Like, you had a bad 100-meter dash. It was a tri-meet. Okay. Like, turn the page. Move on.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that 100-meter dash defines you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should pack everything in that
Literally
one
is your life.
100-meter dash, and honestly, that's your personality now. So that sucks, dude. That sucks.
Yeah. So you were talking about shouting out some of your guys. So before we get to our last question, give a little hometown spotlight because you said you had some guys you wanted to shout out.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love all my guys, man. I tell them that. Sometimes they do disappointing things, but for the most time, man, like, dude, I've just been so grateful to be able to be their coach and be able to experience their high school baseball experience through a coach's eyes and kind of see them handle situations properly and be a good young man or come through in big situations and they feel good because, man, like when you come through in a big situation in baseball, there's nothing more electric, dude. Like It's such a slow sport, so like when something big happens and like you're the person that did that, it's like,
oh yeah,
it's like all praise to you, man. It's awesome. So two of my guys, I mean, like I said, I want to shout out all my guys, but 2 of my guys that I feel like I just have to is Jose and Luis Romero, because I don't know when exactly they moved here, but they moved here from Venezuela when I think they were probably 13, so they were in 8th grade. And their whole goal was just to try to come to America and assimilate as best as they could. They didn't speak that much English. Yeah. So I remember when I was driving them home, like after practices sometimes, I'll be like, so like what do you guys like to eat? Like, what's your mom cooking? Like, I know your grandma's cooking something nice. Like, I get some of that. Like, they make a rapist or whatever, and they would give me that. And I was telling them, I was asking them, like, how they're assimilating to, like, learning English and stuff. They're like, dude, I'm going home and I'm watching Netflix, like, with subtitles on, just so I can kind of, like every time I'm watching, I'm just watching Netflix so I can learn English. And I'm like,
you don't think
I'm looking at my kid who grew up in Elkton his whole life, like, privileged family. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, like, has everything handed to him, and then you got these 2 guys that are learning English like for homework,
right?
So that they can try to get to the next level, and they did, man. They committed to go to Lincoln University, and I wish them nothing but the best, man. I think that they're going to have a good opportunity to go there and start, because I think that their program is a little bit. I don't know much, but I don't think that they're like a super competitive program. So I think that they're going to be able to get some meaningful innings, and
it's good.
I hope that they can. Just get the best out of that, because that's the American dream for them right there, you know?
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, awesome. Coming at 13 too, like, It's
a pivotal time.
It's a very critical time in your age, yeah.
Right.
And then just throwing right into the middle school years, and then, all right, go to high school now. Go to the next level, and then, figure it all out. So, huge shout out to the Romeros, right?
Boys.
Yeah, Romeros. And we see him on the Dogs of the Week.
Dude, Dogs of the Day.
Dogs of the Day.
We didn't do it every game because every game is different, but some days there would be some standout guys and give them game ball or whatever.
That's awesome. What your student is doing on social media and what you're leading them to do is pretty awesome. I need to be more active on social media, but like you said, the kids eat it up, man. Yeah, they eat it up. They eat it up. So our weekly question is our normal wrap up question too. Is just what does competition mean to you?
Yeah. I mean, we're all competitors, but I think competition is like. It's a great question because I think everyone's going to have somewhat of a different answer.
We've had 6 different answers, and that's why I love the question.
Yeah. Really good question. I kind of fell back on a saying that I said a lot, and again, big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so like Mike Tomlin's always this guy where he's like, these are words that we live by. Like he says, like these are things that we do, and like this is how we live. This is how we go about our business. So it's one thing that I continue to say every year. I was just like, everybody wants to be the guy until it's time to be the guy. Right. Everybody wants to be that person that's looked at positively on the baseball field, but are you the guy that walks by that piece of trash when there's a trash can right there? Or do you pick it up and put it away? Yeah. Like, are you also that guy in the classroom? Like, are you also that guy for your friend in need? Like, everybody wants to be the guy in that box until they step in that box and they're not ready. And then what happens? Like, you have built all of your competitive nature on identifying with that personality of being like, I want to go in here and compete. And then you find out that maybe I'm not the guy in the situation because I didn't prepare properly. Right. So whenever that moment is there, I just try to teach my guys to like, hey, do what you can do, find your process, find your approach, find your routine to make sure that you're bigger than the moment. Right. And I mean, we all play a game to try to be a part of a moment that's bigger than ourselves. Right. And sometimes you get in that moment, and I was listening to Howie Long's podcast. Howie Long, the football player for the Eagles.
Chris Long.
Chris, and he was interviewing his brother, Howie, right? Or no?
Howie's the dad. It's Chris Long and...
his brother was a tackle,
he was a
right?
Bears tackle.
Whatever. He was talking to him, and he was talking about like those ripples in time when you're playing games and like things slow down, and it's just like, okay, that's the moment. Mm-hmm. So who are you gonna be? Right, like, and what have you done to give yourself confidence in handling that moment? So be bigger than the moment, and even if you're not bigger in the moment, like there's still a silver lining there because it's just like, what data did you collect? Like, was I not prepared to handle this situation? Was I in the field not giving pre-pitch steps? I wasn't following along with my pitcher, and the batter just ripped one right by me because I wasn't prepared. Like. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like that's competition to me, man. It's just like, whatever that challenge is that you're going to be faced with, are you ready for it? Yeah. And how did I help you try to get there? So. Yeah.
I mean, if you have that true competitive nature, you're trying to, like you said, do all those little things. Mm-hmm. Because there's everybody that says, I'm competitive, but did you do everything to do that? And then you complained about that not going wrong?
I'm locked in, Coach.
I'm locked in. Yeah,
you're locked in. You're not really locked in.
Exactly. I'm locked. Yeah, you're locked in now, but I didn't see you locked in all week at practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, how do you expect me to believe you'd be locked in on a Friday night for 2.5 hours when we went 4 days? Mm-hmm. 10 hours, 11 hours worth of practice, you weren't locked in.
Mm-hmm. Right. You can't just... How many meaningful hours did you give me?
It doesn't happen on the fly.
Yeah.
You're a competitor 24/7, or you're not really.
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
I also feel like if you got to say like I'm locked in, you're not.
Yeah.
Like
I should be able to look at you when you're going through warm-ups.
He's got it today.
Talk to him.
Yep, he's got it today.
Yeah. I don't got to pump you up.
Yep.
It's over. You're good. Yeah. That's a competitor.
If I had to pump you up, it's too late.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
If I feel like I have to, like, really pump you up, then I'm worried. But
make a change.
Yeah, I'm always my thing is I walk through the stretch line and I dap everybody up. And I give them a little message like, this is what I need you for.
I love that.
Yeah, but then it's like, but that shouldn't be the, like you said, that shouldn't be the moment that's like, ooh, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
That's all I'm not doing it for. I'm just doing it because I want to let them know that,
all that does is continue the momentum.
Exactly.
Like the momentum has to be started, and all you're doing, dude. That's also huge too, because one of my biggest pet peeves is when coaches, whenever they're going through the stretches or whatever you're doing in the beginning of practice, and all the coaches are. You just see, like, whenever you're the player, you just see them doing that. Like, they're just talking. Yeah. And sometimes you need to have that banner with your coaches, but go see how your guys are doing.
Yep.
Like, someone have a bad day, and that's going to impact their practice. Let's have a talk. Right. And if you're not out there, like, you're not talking with your guys when they're stretching, it's like, you have no pulse.
We do our stretch lines. I always start it because I always set the tone for it, let the guys take over. But at a game day, I don't even care if I'm the head coach now. I'm running the stretches. Yeah. I'm setting the tone for that day.
And you have no injuries, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
Also, side note, it's Chris Long, Kyle Long, and Howie Long Jr.
Kyle Long. There you go.
Ripples in time, baby. I loved that.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, what are you learning those ripples in time? Like, was I not big enough for the moment? And, like, if you weren't, like...
How you going to fix it?
Yes. Like, are you, like, that doesn't define you, man.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to have another at-bat. Like, you're going to have another... The ball that you just buffed is probably going to come right back at you now because that's the way the universe works. And that's the way the baseball gods want it to work. So,
right. Ball never lies.
Yeah, man.
In all sports. Well, man, hey, it was awesome having you on. You enjoy your time on here?
Dude, yeah, man. Like, I want to give you guys, like, the credit you guys deserve. I mean, I know you guys are just getting started, but... Dude, Cecil County, I feel like always gets looked down by Delaware, Harford County, Pennsylvania. Man, we have good athletes here. We have good coaches here. I feel like you said, like, a lot of people are coming back here. Like, I'm happy to be in Cecil County, man. Right. My wife moved up here, and she's found community, and it's a great place to be, and I'm glad this isn't the Rising Sun hometown advantage.
It started that way.
The back-to-back Elkton weeks, man.
We got you. We're Perryville, Elkton. We've gone far away from Rising Sun. So. Yeah. But that's I don't care about this being. We started Rising Sun obviously because that's the quickest people we can get on. We didn't know where we were going to go for this, but yeah, like that's the whole point about this. Like you said, there are great coaches out there. And there are great players. And that's what every recruiter comes in and talks to me about. Yeah. They're like, we find players from here. Don't stop coming. Like, we have guys for you. And maybe not always the D1 level. Oh, dude, but I don't care about it. Like, I don't care about the D1 level. We find a D1 level, like Rossi said, the guy's going to find him. And that's what I've told other guys, like, that have expressed D1. And I'm saying, listen, I'm not going to have to do any work for you. Like, people are going to find you. You're going to have articles about you. You're going to have your stats out there, and your film is going to scream off of the screen. Yeah. Like, your film's going to pop. Like, but not saying that me putting more work in for you means that you're not good enough for you're good enough for the next level. Yeah. You just got to put the work in. So, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Yep. I mean. And I'm enjoying doing it. Just get to hear new perspectives, and especially a baseball episode. I don't know nothing about baseball, so it's cool to hear all the different. We've had what now? Track,
baseball, football, basketball, wrestling.
We've covered it all.
We've covered a lot.
Let's go.
I'm gonna get Matt in here, do some softball.
Ooh, nice. And, Arms coming on.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I was talking to
just with him today.
Talking to Kathy McGuire at the high school, get some girls basketball going on too. Nice. She got a good program running over there. So yeah, we're gonna cover it all.
Sweet.
We're gonna cover it all.
Yeah, we got a lot of sports to go.
Dude, there's just a lot of people putting in time, man. And I mean,
a lot of time.
For the little amount of time that I put in 4 years at Elkton, like being able to kind of come here and talk about my guys and be proud of them and have other people hear it. It's like that's kind of all I want. Yeah. You know, like
I want your guys to be able to listen to you talk about them. Yeah, and the families listen to you talk about them and be like, I love Coach Kline even more now.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. And it ain't about us.
No.
It's about you guys every week. Yep. So, hey, man, I'm excited to put this one out again. And if you like what you hear, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, hometown _advantage1. and just share us with somebody. Get the community growing, and let people know that we have great coaches and they mean a lot to the county.
Maybe we'll get this thing so big one day they'll close the towns down on Friday nights.
That's what we want, man. I don't care about a Friday night, just any game, man.
Yeah, so what are you guys going to, sorry to interrupt, but what are you guys going to do during the season? Thought about that?
Yeah, I thought about it. Like, this isn't too much for me to do on a Wednesday night. Like, during the season, by Wednesday, the game plans, we're going into pregame. Like, so I'm not... we haven't talked about it, but
it'd be kind of cool though for you to like bring on someone after the week that you just played them or before.
Yep. I'm totally into. I mean, I think we're gonna keep it going through the season. Like a Wednesday night for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
If my game plan's not already set and I'm working at 9:30 at night, then I'm not ready. I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm not ready. So I mean, this thing's gonna keep rolling, and we have 5 towns in Cecil County, and I'd like to expand outside. And we got some names to think about too that we can keep this thing going for a while. So
yes, sir.
Well, if you like what you hear, like we said, go follow us, share us. That's that. Peace.
Cool. Later.
That's it.